All right, folks, our next speaker is Perron.
That's it.
And he will be introducing us to the new approaches in PTS therapy. It's a TruReach health apps, brand new on the market, I believe.
Well, it's been a year now.
About a year. All right, awesome. Time's going by. So he's going to tell us about it. If you're not familiar with it, we're going to hear about it there now. All right, thanks, Jeff. There you go.
Thank you. And thanks for having me. Can you hear me okay? Is that good? Good. Yeah, guys, thanks for having me. It's good to be here. I love doing this stuff. Friday afternoon, and most people are sitting at a desk right now, and we get to talk about helping people. So it is a privilege for me to do stuff like this. So I'm Perron. I'm a PhD candidate at the University of Ottawa, just down the road, in clinical psychology. I'm also the founder of TruReach, which I'll explain a bit more in a minute. But I have the unfortunate position of coming here while everyone else is talking to you about practical tools and things that you can use day to day. I'm actually going to come here and talk to you about the fact that when it comes to trauma, we actually don't have a lot of knowledge about where we need to go when it comes to mobile apps and online interventions. So I'm going to try to give you kind of an overview of the landscape in the first 10 minutes, and then like real high level stuff, purposely high level, and then hopefully get some questions for you or feedback. But if at any point you have a question or a criticism or I'm missing something, please let me know, because I want this to be relevant to you guys. All right. So, covered the agenda essentially. Let's jump right into it. How many of you guys, just by show of hands, have been frustrated by the access to mental health support at one point or another? Okay, good. So we're mostly on the same page. For me, I was working, I was human resources manager before I came back to U Ottawa to do my PhD. And early on in my PhD, I got kind of interested in online cognitive behavioral therapy, online CBT. And it's stuff like this that initially got me interested. So there's a guideline, this is from the UK, it's a formal guideline that says that online CBT is an acceptable alternative to face-to-face therapy. So we're talking about depression and anxiety here, not necessarily trauma at this stage. I see stuff like this. I came to do my PhD so I could work one-on-one with people. And then you see this and you kind of say, if I really want to make a difference, I need to get online, do something mobile, make things more accessible, because sitting in my office waiting for the people who can, who have benefits or who have money to pay for services isn't going to cut it. The only thing that's remarkable about this guideline is that it's from 2002. Like actually, 2002, there was a formal recommendation for online therapy for depression and anxiety. I'm going to talk a bit about how we're still lagging when it comes to online interventions for depression and anxiety. When it comes to trauma specifically, it's 5 to 10 years behind that. So why am I the guy talking about this stuff? Because I developed this app, TruReach, and this isn't an advertisement for TruReach. It's more to kind of give you a comparison of where we've been in terms of depression and anxiety, because it is a depression and anxiety app. It's not a replacement for therapy. It's self-help. And then I can kind of compare that to where we are for PTSD. But what it is, it's simple. Like it's 5-minute animated video lessons about how you can help yourself deal with depression and anxiety. It's all cognitive behavioral therapy based. It's all evidence based. But it really is simple stuff. You can get it in the App Store. It's got exercises. So simple stuff. Put what I'm doing face-to-face into an app. And we get, you do anything in mental health, and this is the beauty of the work that we do, like people take notice. Like, again, not tooting my own horn, it's a simple app, it's basic mental health stuff. And the response has been awesome. People want to help, people want to push it forward. Probably the most relevant thing here is we're doing a pilot study in the States that's funded by Blue Cross Blue Shield to figure out how can we, in a large organization, administer an app that people can use at home on their own and still have some kind of idea of if it's working, if it's helping them. So what we've done is developed an online system where the admin team at the University of Nebraska Medical Center can actually see on aggregate, not individual data, but on aggregate, average scores on depression and anxiety, how much time people are spending in the app, and things like that. So that's kind of my intro to what I'm doing. I told you that when it comes to trauma, things lag 5 to 10 years behind when we're talking about apps for trauma or online interventions. This boring slide gives you 3 references. I don't expect you to go look at them. All it's meant to say is that in the past 5 years, when it comes to trauma, there have been big studies, these ones, that have shown that online programs for trauma actually help people get better. Some of them they can use on their own, some of them are paired with a therapist, but they work. So in the depression and anxiety field, we had this research 20 years ago. In the trauma field, it's been coming out in the past 10 years, and people are still working at it. So a lot of innovation in mental health apps for depression and anxiety, not so much when it comes to PTSD, but there is some good stuff out there. Has anyone seen this website? It's, yeah, okay. Anyone else? PTSD coach online. It's from Veterans Affairs in the US. It's good stuff. It's all evidence-based resources, videos for trauma. People have gone through trauma, again, aimed primarily at veterans, military veterans. But again, we can kind of debate, how many people are going to sit down at their computer and access that when everything we do now is on the phone. But they have translated this into an app. So the same content from the US VA has been translated in an app in the States, in Canada, in Australia. So take note of this, recommend it to people. I have zero affiliation with these guys, but it's useful stuff. It's probably the start and the end of good PTSD apps. If anyone knows of any other ones, let me know, and maybe I'm missing something. But this is basically it worldwide. The thing is, it is, it's not developed by a technology company. It's not developed by Google. It's pretty. There's something to be desired when it comes to the interface, and that's okay. You have to start somewhere. But my big thing is, how do we compete? And that's me when it comes to an app. That's you guys when it comes to whatever it is you're doing. All day long, we're competing with the phone for attention, for leisure time, for people's free time. And if you're an app on a phone, then you better be pretty well done, pretty modern. You got to compete with Netflix. You got to compete with my sports fantasy apps. So if someone's feeling like crap and they're at home alone, I don't know if this is going to be the first place they're going to go, right, for an online mobile experience. So that's what I'm really passionate about, is how do we take what we know works, because there's no shortage of interventions that work, and make it accessible. Put it in a mobile format that people actually